Hi, my name is ZaKaiRan, and welcome to another one of my outrageously amazing, insanely enlightening master keys of creation, about how to be the unlimited source master of divine creation that you truly are, to create the joy, love, well-being, and abundance you desire. You'll find tons more self-empowering goodies to help you become a conscious, deliberate creator of reality on my website at ZaKaiRan.com. So here we go. Vibrational communication. Now, so welcome to my podcast, Vibrational Communication, where I'm going to show you how the universe of creation works and how to get your vibration into alignment with your desires so that you can literally create anything you desire. Because the universe does not hear your words. It feels your vibration. And it unconditionally gives you more of whatever you are vibrating based on what you are thinking. So if you are vibrating lack, the universe has no choice but to give you more lack, because the universe is an unconditional universe. But in the same vein, if you are vibrating abundance, the universe has no choice but to give you more abundance. So if you want an abundance of something, you've got to think and therefore vibrate an abundance of that desire, even if there is a physical lack of evidence of that desire in your life. And that is the essence of creation mastery, and why some people have an abundance of something while others have a distinct lack of that same thing. So I hope you enjoy this vodcast. Vibrational communication. The universe does not speak your language or hear your words. It only speaks and hears the language of vibration, because everything in the world of creation is vibrational in nature. And even though we humans speak words, you cannot create with words alone. You can only create you want with vibration, which ultimately emanates from thought. The process goes thinking, which creates a vibration, which creates a feeling, which, if you do it long enough and focused enough, you'll actually attract what you want. And whether they speak it or not, everyone is always vibrating their desires every single moment of their waking state, because we are all desire beings, because we are all creative beings, and we can't help but desire constant and never-ending improvement, because that's the nature of the universe of creation. Every time any one of us encounters unwanted things, we launch rockets of desire out into the universe, so to speak. And the universe expands and rearranges itself to accommodate those desires. And every single creature on earth is also desiring never-ending improvement, because we all just want to feel good and we all just want to be happy. But they're not speaking those desires like us humans do. But nevertheless, they are vibrating those desires just like humans. That's how we know what animals want, because they are vibrating their desires. They're not sending us psychic messages. They're just vibrating their desires. They're transmitting their desires, so to speak, out to us and to the universe, just like we do, but with vibration. So every human or every creature and every plant, etc., are all vibrating growth and vitality. We're all vibrating a desire to thrive and grow and be happy. And we're all vibrating joy, well-being, and abundance, because these are our natural states of being as source beings, and therefore our natural desires. And these are the natural states of the universe of creation in all life. Everything and everyone is vibrational in nature, because everything and everyone is source. Everything and everyone is essentially non-physical spirit or source, vibrating and existing as human or creature or animal or plant or tree, etc. because we are all, yes, we appear physical. We appear physical, but underneath all, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath all that is really who we all truly are, which is source. Because everything is vibratory in nature, the specific vibration or frequency of that vibration is what differentiates one thing from another. And yes, different chemical combinations make up the countless forms and different atoms and electrons and neutrons, etc. But I'm talking more about the soul essence of everything rather than the physical construction of everything. Every soul on earth has a specific vibration, and every animal on earth has a specific vibration, and every human and animal and every creature has desires. And animals and other creatures and even plants have a general vibrational desire to thrive and be happy. Their desires are abundance-oriented and very general in nature, whereas humans, our desires are more specific in nature, but still very general in the sense that everyone wants the same thing, to thrive and grow and be prosperous and happy. Human desires are more complex, but in general, everyone wants these basic things: to be happy, to love, to be loved, to prosper, to be abundant, to be healthy and vital, to be satisfied and fulfilled, and to be free. But regardless of the generality or complexity of our desires, every single soul on earth is continually desiring more and more and better, because the contrast of unwanted things ensures that we will always desire improvement, because our biggest desire is joy, because our natural state of being is joy. Everyone wants to be happy, and every single thing that everyone does, regardless of how it appears as being positive or negative, is to be happy and thrive and grow and be free. And that is what every single soul on earth has in common, regardless of race and religion and political beliefs, etc., is we all have a natural divine desire for freedom, growth, and joy. And we express those desires in countless verbal and musical and visual and artistic and scientific and athletic, etc., ways. But behind the physical expression of those desires is vibration. And every desire is transmitted vibrationally, because regardless of our language, regardless of our ability to express our desires verbally or in some other way, we are vibrating those desires to the universe. And that vibration is what the universe hears. That is what source hears. That is what the law of attraction hears. The universe does not hear your words. It only hears your vibration. Or more accurately, it feels your vibration. For instance, when you are experiencing a lack of something that you would like an abundance of, like money, you immediately transmit a vibration of desire for an abundance of money to the universe, because you believe an abundance of money will make you happy. So the universe hears your prayer, so to speak. The universe hears your desire and immediately says your wish is your command. How much do you want? And gets busy creating an abundance of money for you. But if you keep banging the drum of lack of money, I don't have enough money, money is hard to come by, my job sucks, there's not enough money is evil, rich people are corrupt, I don't have enough money, all the evil bad guys are controlling all the money on planet Earth, and they want to take it from me, and there's scammers out there, etc., etc. Well, what are you thinking about, and therefore, what are you vibrating? Well, you are vibrating a big-ass lack of money, not an abundance of money. Obviously, you're focused, 100% on an absence of money and a lack of money. So even though you've launched a rocket of desire to the universe for an abundance of money because of your lack of money, and the universe is on the job creating an abundance of money for you, your continual thoughts about an absence of money is blocking the universe from giving you an abundance of the money that you desire. Sadly, but that's how it is. What humans typically do not understand is the fact that the universe, or to use old school terminology, God, aka Source, does not hear your words and does not pay any attention to your actions. In other words, when humans have a desire for something, instead of using their thoughts and therefore vibration to create what they want, they immediately jump into desperate action. And humans erroneously believe that they can create what they want with action alone, but they are sadly mistaken, because the universe does not pay any attention to your action. It only pays attention to your vibration. And if you want to use old terminology again, God does not pay any attention to your action. God does not care what you do. God only cares what you vibrate, how you feel, and what you think about your actions. Do you judge your actions? Do you believe that they are right and good? Or do you believe that they are evil and bad? So again, the universe does not pay any attention to your actions. It only pays attention to your vibration. Yes, you can make deals and agreements with other humans to scratch each other's backs, and you can work hard and sweat and scratch and sacrifice and fight for your desires, and you can play the game of, if I believe in something or someone or some God, I'll be able to get what I want. Maybe not now, but maybe in heaven. And, you know, there is obviously some benefit to action. But there is a much easier way to get what you want, and that is with aligned vibration, where your vibration is aligned to an abundance of your desire, rather than aligned to a lack of your desire. And then when that groundwork is done, when you have aligned your vibration to an abundance of your desire, well, now your action is fun and exciting and inspiring, rather than hard work and energy draining. It actually builds your energy. You get more energized. You're taking inspired action, which is exciting and fun and extremely fruitful. You actually get things done. Rather than using desperate action to try and hammer your desires into place. That's the old pattern that humans do of fight, control to try to get what you want, which only creates greed and overconsumption and environmental destruction, etc., etc. The key ingredient here is to think about and vibrate the solution, which is, in this case, is an abundance of money, rather than continuing to think about and then, of course, vibrating the problem, which has already inspired the solution. But, of course, if you are just thinking about the problem all the time and vibrating the problem, you just attract more problems. You got to line up your vibration with the solution and let go of the problem 100%. Appreciate the problem for what it inspired within you, your new desires to create new things, but let it go. So when your empty bank account and bills are staring you in the face and you're vibrating fear and worry and what the heck am I going to do? All is lost. You are, of course, vibrating lack. You're vibrating the problem, not the solution. So your goal is to get into alignment with the solution and vibrate the solution, not the problem. You got to think about and therefore vibrate an abundance of money, even though you physically have the opposite. You don't have any money, but you don't think about that. You just enjoy the delicious desire of and the feeling of having the money and playing with the money and spending the money. The key is to focus on the vibration, not the physical reality of things, whether they're there or not. Focus on the vibration upon the thought and the delicious, joyful feelings of an abundance of your desire, and pay no attention to physical reality. In other words, you're being an unconditional creator because you're focused on the feeling rather than the physical condition of your desire being there or not. Humans fall into the classic trap every single day of allowing physical conditions to determine how they are going to think and therefore vibrate and therefore feel, rather than the optimal joyful process of creation, which is to get unconditionally happy, where you do not let conditions determine your happiness. You decide that you're going to be happy regardless of conditions, which attracts more happy conditions that match your joy. Basically, you got to think, vibrate, and feel what you do want rather than what you don't want. You got to think about and vibrate and then feel the joyful solution to your conditional problem, because feeling is unconditional in nature. You can feel happy regardless of any physical condition. You could be handcuffed and being paraded to the hangman's noose, but still be happy as a lark if you chose to be, a la the classic movie Life is Beautiful. You could have nothing but zeros in your bank account, but you could still feel abundant and happy regardless of your apparent lack of money. Just how if you go to indigenous populations, they don't necessarily even have any money, and they can be, happy as larks. The point is, you don't have to focus on your lack of money at all, especially because focusing on your lack of money doesn't help turn it into an abundance of money. It just creates more lack. Whatever you focus upon, the universe will give you more of that. That's how the law of attraction works. You can't immediately change your bank account to $10 million, but you can think about and vibrate and feel the joy that you would have spending $10 million on tons of fun shit, doing fun things. And by doing that, you feel abundant and happy, even though your bank account still says zero. Or you can feel happy and abundant by thinking about something else entirely, like the abundance of nature that you have around you, or the abundance of love that you have in your life, etc. Well, it doesn't matter what you're thinking about in a thriving, abundant way, because abundance is abundance. You don't have to think about abundance, so to speak, of money to try to get money. Just think about abundance in general. You don't have to try to tackle your money problem and bang abundance of money into place, or tackle any of your so-called issues to try to bend them and control them into place, to get more money or to get more love. You don't even have to think about money directly, or think about love, or think about health directly. Just think about anything that is working well and thriving, that is easy to like, love, and appreciate in your life. And things that you want more of, that you already like and you already have, and your big ass nemesis, your empty bank account, or whatever big problem you have decided you have in your life will improve. So simply to get what you want, you've got to become unconditionally happy, because the only reason you want anything is to be happy. To get what you want, you've got to get happy, and then those things that you know will make you happy will manifest, because they are a vibrational match to your happiness. Because when you try to live like normal humans do, which is, when I get what I want, then I'll finally be happy, well, you're living an absolutely disempowered, conditional existence, and won't get the happy things you desire. Or if you do get them, well, they will only make you happy very temporarily, because your happiness is dependent upon transitory conditions that come and go. And of course, you can lose the lover and you can lose the money, and then there goes your happiness out the door. And so your happiness goes up and down like a roller coaster, and you never achieve any lasting joy and fulfillment, because your joy is dependent upon physical conditions that come and go and fade away and are taken away and so forth. Humans try to change external conditions so that they can have a pleasurable response to those improved conditions. But the problem with that is their focus on unwanted conditions just attracts more unwanted conditions that they now have to change so that they can be happy. So, assuming that they are successful in coercing conditions around them to change into more pleasing conditions, and assuming they can manipulate other people and themselves with great deals and agreements and learn the ins and outs of finance and business and politics, and keeping everybody happy so that everybody scratches your back and you keep everybody happy. Well, assuming they are fairly successful at that operation, well, guaranteed there will always be new unpleasing conditions that pop up continually in life that you've got to somehow improve by forcing or coercing or legislating or killing or judging or making more deals and agreements with people about to try to get rid of those things that you don't like and to change those things that you don't like into more pleasing conditions so that you can finally be happy. And ultimately, you never, ever will be happy because, again, transitory conditions are always changing. That is the completely disempowered position that 99% of humans on Earth put themselves into every single day because they don't understand how the law of attraction works. They don't understand how to focus their attention on what they want to get what they want. So most people on planet Earth have put themselves in a very disempowered position, which is looking to pleasing conditions in order to be happy, rather than just being happy regardless of external conditions. In other words, knowing that you have the power within you to change your thoughts, to think good feeling thoughts so you can be happy all the time, regardless of what the conditions in your life or other people's lives or on planet Earth are. And even if you're quite successful at creating pleasing conditions in your life to be happy because you've got a cooperative team of family members and friends and coworkers that agree to act in pleasing ways to keep each other happy, and you have all the appearances of abundance and the appearances of happiness because you've got the house in the suburbs and you've got the Mercedes and you've got the appearance of success, etc. Well, you can't fool the universe because remember, the universe does not care what you speak, what you do, or what you have, or how hard you work, and doesn't care how much you have sacrificed to get what you want, and doesn't care how much fame and success you have. The only thing the universe cares about is what you are vibrating. Because you could be a billionaire, but still be vibrating a whole ton of lack, a whole lot of fear that maybe you're going to lose those billions. And maybe your fear of poverty drove you to become wealthy in the first place, but you're still not happy even though you physically have what should make people happy. And of course, that is the classic corrupt rich person who is never, ever happy, no matter how much money they get. And your lack of unconditional inner happiness just keeps attracting unhappiness. And this will more than likely manifest in other parts of your life, like your relationships. When a person looks to external conditions to create happiness, they're trying to get happiness from something or someone that cannot give it to them. Because nothing and no one can give anyone happiness. Because nothing and no one can assert happiness upon you, because this is not a universe of assertion. This is a universe of attraction. People erroneously believe that when I get the honey or the money, then I'll be happy. They don't understand that people and things cannot give you feelings. Only you can give yourself feelings. No one and nothing can give you happiness. Only you can give yourself happiness. That's why the entire concept of marriage is completely faulty, because Agreeing to act in pleasing ways to ensure mutual happiness is a disempowered, conditionally oriented way of living that does not ultimately work, because no one can give you happiness. No one outside of you can give you happiness. Only you can. And no one can give you love. No one can assert love upon you and assert joy upon you and assert happiness upon you and abundance upon you. Only you can decide to be happy and feel love, regardless of what anyone else is doing. And if your joy and love is reliant upon another person, then so is your lack of joy and love. And as soon as your lover's attention swings away from your direction to someone else or some other thing, well, your love and joy are now gone. They've flown out the window because you put someone else outside of you in charge of your love and your joy. That's a disempowered position that everybody puts themselves into. That's the essence of codependence. And there is nothing more disempowering than that. Hence why divorce is so rampant, because marriage partners soon discover that the marriage vows that were supposed to ensure eternal happiness and security instead created a sort of imprisonment and ultimately disempowerment. And as soon as one of the partners realizes their fatal mistake, that they gave this person complete power over their joy and love and abundance, well, they often get really angry at that person. Of course, that's where the War of the Roses starts. But it's not their marriage or relationship partner's fault. It's your own fault for agreeing to this disempowered situation of declaring vows that could never, ever be true. You can't make yourself happy by declaring vows. No one held a shotgun to your head to make these marriage vows. You only agreed to these vows out of fear, and because that's what we're supposed to do as far as society is concerned. You got to prove the legitimacy and infinity, so to speak, of your relationship to humanity. Even if you're not married and have made no official vows in front of God or a preacher and witnesses and signed any contracts, well, nevertheless, most people are pretty much trapped in the relationship matrix, where there is an unwritten agreement that to do pleasing things to keep each other happy. Which again is not possible, because you cannot assert happiness upon another. This is a universe of attraction, not assertion. I mentioned earlier that humans have complex desires, but if you boil them all down to one component, the only reason anyone wants anything is to feel good and to be happy. The only thing anyone wants is to feel good. And what is a feeling? Is it something physical? We mistakenly believe that our happiness comes from things and people, but our happiness does not. Happiness is a feeling, and a feeling is a vibration. Feelings are the result of vibration. They are a gauge of what you are vibrating, and all vibration is generated by thoughts, and no one outside of you can think for you. So no one can think for you, and nobody can vibrate for you, so therefore no one can feel for you, so nobody can make you happy. So that means no one can make you feel anything or any way, because other people can't think for you, can't feel for you, can't vibrate for you, and ultimately cannot create for you. Other people and external conditions can only inspire and motivate an internal response and an internal thought, which creates an internal vibration. And that internal vibration causes a feeling. And the feeling is an indication of what the vibration is that you are vibrating and what you were thinking that caused that vibration. And simply put, positive, unlimited, abundance-oriented thoughts cause positive, unlimited, abundant vibrations, which always feels good. Because when you are thinking positive-oriented vibrations, you are in alignment with your source, because your source only thinks positive ways. A negative, limited, judgmental, doubtful, fearful, lack-oriented thoughts create similarly limited vibrations which feel bad. And they feel bad because your source only thinks in positive directions. And if you're thinking bad feeling thoughts, you are thinking in a contrary way to your own source. So it feels bad. So thoughts, vibration, and feelings are the magic keys of creation, and everything else is just fluff. You can talk great words and give great speeches and proclaim your desires to the universe in the form of affirmations and decrees about your desire for an abundance of something like money, and take massive action towards that desired end. But if your vibration says lack of money, well, again, you can't trick the universe with your abundant-oriented words. You can affirm abundance until you are blue in the face and take tons of action to try and wrangle up the dollars. But if you keep vibrating lack, then you'll just keep attracting more lack and struggle and sacrifice and hardship. So to get the abundance of money that you truly want, you got to vibrate abundance, even though you don't have an abundance of money yet, or an abundance of whatever you want yet. And this is creation mastery. This is the magic that has been feared and created inquisitions. This is the miracle that supposedly only witches and saints and scholars and clergy have access to, and the rest of humanity are supposedly left out in the cold. And this is the so-called secret that isn't a secret at all. It's just hidden in plain sight. It's just repressed and denied by religions and people, and so forth. The law of attraction is blatantly obvious for those with the eyes to see and whose hearts and minds are open. But it is an enigma shrouded in mystery, or something reserved only for the gods, or is just a myth and unbelievable to those whose minds and hearts are closed and who believe more in some sort of law of assertion and some sort of assertive-oriented God where evil can assert its nefarious will upon us and we're helpless against its supposed power. And if we do good deeds and believe certain things and act in certain ways, we'll have good favor from some sort of controlling, insecure God. But, of course, that's all bullshit. But the law of attraction is not a secret or a mystery or magic or a miracle. It is normal, average, everyday life. It's going on 24/7 in everyone's lives. There's nothing but attraction. People just don't necessarily know it. And everyone attracts every single nanosecond of their lives based on their thinking, but can't imagine that that is true, because they can't imagine how or why they would attract such crap in their lives. And so they imagine that there must be controlling forces that are stronger than them, asserting their evil will upon them. Thus, the creation of the so-called devil and evil by society, of course, which does not exist. They can't imagine being able to create what they want because they do not understand that we are all vibrational beings in human bodies, and they don't understand that everything is vibration, and we are all immortal divine creators. And we are all source, and nothing and no one is separate from God's source. And nothing and no one is separate from the laws of the universe. And people can't imagine the fact that they are infinitely powerful with the ability to create absolutely anything that they desire. And they don't understand that they are creating all of the crap in their lives because of their crappy thoughts. And they erroneously believe that if they bitch, moan, and complain enough, and judge and vote against and try to imprison and wage war against and kill off and get rid of what they don't want, what will be left will just be the good stuff that they do want. Instead of believing that, they can create what they want, and that God's source is unconditional in nature and will give us literally anything we want without judgment. People believe in an insecure, controlling God, and we are all puppets on his strings, being manipulated and played with, and like we're toys, by being played with like toys, like God is a child, and we're being controlled by God and the evil forces instead of taking responsibility for their own creations, good or bad. That's the choice that everybody has every single day. Believe the lie that they are disempowered and there's the evil forces trying to control reality and keep you from getting what you want. And I don't create my own reality, some sort of God or something, or evil forces asserting their will against me, and I've got to band together with other humans to get what I want. Which, of course, is the disempowered way to live, or just believe and know that I am 100% fully empowered by the universe, by source, by God to create anything I want based on the law of attraction. Basically, to believe that this is a universe of attraction rather than assertion. So, there you go. I just gave you the secret to creating whatever you want based on the fact that you and everything in the entire universe are all vibration. And everyone is creating everything in their lives based on their thoughts and therefore their vibrations. And by knowing that, you can now get your thoughts and vibration into alignment with what you want, which is always joy. The only reason you want anything is for the joy of it. Yes, you want the money and the honey and the health, etc. And all that stuff is fun. That's one of the reasons why you came to planet Earth, to create fun stuff and have fun. But the road to get them is joy. Because the only reason you want those things is to feel happy. So just get happy, and then you've got what you really want from those things anyway, which is to be happy. And then, as an added bonus, your happiness will attract those happy things into your life, because your happiness now, even though you don't have those things, is a vibrational match to you, how you'll be, how you'll feel once you actually have those things, which is happy. So I hope you enjoyed this vodcast, vibrational communication. If you did, and I'm sure you did, please share with your friends. Bless them with these amazing teachings. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and my podcast channel, The Master Keys of Creation, so you're notified when I put out a new video or a new podcast. Come visit me at ZaKaiRan.com for more self-empowering goodies to help you become a conscious, deliberate creator of reality and create an awesome, amazing life for yourselves. My name is ZaKaiRan, and I am here to help you remember that you are an unlimited master of divine creation, and you have the power and freedom to create the joy, love, well-being, and abundance you desire. So thanks again for watching this video or this podcast, and I wish you immense joy and abundance on your magnificent journey of divine creation. And of course, you know the drill, baby. Make life a holiday. Woohoo!